40th anniversary of Days of Our Lives, and you're invited. Joining us today are Deidre Hall, Drake Hogestyn, Christian Alfonso, Peter Reckell, Melissa Reeves, Suzanne Rogers, Stephen Nichols, Charles Shaughnessy, Francis Reed, and executive producer Ken Corday, plus a special tribute to McDonald Carey. And now, the hosts of the show, Lisa Rinna and Ty Treadway.
This is kind of the anniversary of your alma mater.
Yeah, this is very exciting. This is a really cool show to be a part of, I have to say.
No question. What an honor to be able to sit here and honor a show that's such an important part of television history. 40 years. When you think about that, November 8th, 1965 is a long time. How many great shows have come and gone in both daytime and primetime have come and gone, and yet this show has stood the test of time.
It's really amazing. And when you hear that music, don't you just evoke all these memories from your childhood?
Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely.
It's such great music. It's like music that you just, remember your whole entire life. It means something to you.
It's music that has bridged generations. I mean, 40 years is probably 3-4 generations. I don't know. What's your favorite memory from being on Days of Our Lives?
Well, it's funny because before I was on the show, I grew up watching the show. Like many of you, my mom watched the show, so I watched the show from the time I was 8 or 9 years old. So by the time I got on the show, I was a huge fan. I mean, it was like somebody who was a fan of a show, then getting on the show. So I was beside myself. I mean, I grew up and I thought that Peter Reckell / Bo, because he was Bo to me.
Right.
I mean, he was my crush.
You had to relearn everybody's name instead of their character name.
Yeah, I mean, I walk on the set and, there's Marlena and there's Hope. And I mean, at first, I'm sure I was such a geek. Because, I mean, seriously, I'm still a geek.
Some things haven't changed, apparently. Anyway. No, I'm only kidding.
No, it's true. It is true. But to actually, get that job was so validating to me, not only as an actor to get on such a great show, but in my household, my God, when I called my mom to tell her that I got a part on Days of Our Lives, I don't think she's ever been that excited to this day.
Well, you were a very important part of that
seriously.
Well, you know what? We have an unbelievable lineup for you guys today. And we just couldn't do this show without our next two guests. So please put your hands together. She's a true daytime legend. He's one of the most popular actors in soaps. Please welcome the one, the only Deidre Hall and Drake Hogestyn. From this pretty lady.
Wow, okay, there we go. Wow. Thank you.
Wow.
Welcome. Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
This is okay, but I really like Hawaii.
Next time, you know what? For the 100th anniversary, we'll do it on the beach in Hawaii.
100 years?
60 more years.
Good.
So how does it feel? I mean, now both of you guys started out as short-term characters, and now here you are, Drake, 20 years later, Deidre, 30 years later. How does it feel to be celebrating 40 years of television history?
Grateful.
Yeah.
I'd done a little bit of Y&R before, Young Wrestlers, before I did Days, and was envious, of that camaraderie, that closeness, that intimacy among the cast, and thought, oh, I just want to have some of that. I just want to have some, and then here I am 30 years later having every bit of it.
Well, obviously, John and Marlena, hugely, insanely popular couple. Drake, I'm going to start with you. I want to know your first impressions when you first saw Deidre. Wow. I want to know do you remember when you first met, and what were your first impressions?
Yeah, I went in to read for the producers, and I came into the room, and I was introduced to everybody, and was introduced to her, and I thought that she was a producer. And they said, "This is Deidre Hall," and I went, "Okay, I can do this." Hey, this will work. Okay.
And Deidre, how about your first impressions of?
Well, mine was what everybody who saw him on camera the first time was. He's a dreamboat. And we had a lot of people also well known that were testing for it. And he walked in and owned the stage, owned the moment. He's physically breathtaking. And there was no question who needed to be, you know, cast.
You know, the other thing that happens when you work together for so long, you get to see each other grow both personally and professionally. How has, I'm going to start with you, Drake, how has Deidre grown personally, professionally? And then I'm going to go to that question for you.
Personally and professionally, you know, this is
That's
like...
a heavy question, Ty.
No, it really is. It's
I wasn't given this list of questions.
I've been there in January. It'll be 20 consecutive years, and so you get up at 4:30 in the morning. You go to work. A lot of times, it's you spend as much time at the studio, if not more, than at home. So in answering to your question, it's like there is a trust that happens when you work together. And on days when you have a tremendous amount of dialogue, you just say, okay, I know that if I'm not right on the mark, or if she's not right on the mark, we're going to be listening, and we're going to just pick it up and roll with it. And there's that comfort level that comes from trust and just familiarity.
Nicely said.
Yeah.
Very nicely said.
You know, one of the...
You didn't get to ask me that question.
Deidre, I'm going to ask you that question. How have you seen Drake grown both personally and professionally?
In the beginning, Drake had done quite a bit of nighttime, and over the 20 years, he has honed the craft to such a fine art. I want to get it said because it's been such a joy for me, and makes what I do so easy every day. Because your work in the last year has been so different and such a quantum leap from anything I've ever seen anybody do in daytime.
Well, the
relating to Marlena, the relating to Kate, the stillness, the desperation, the absolute adoration is a pleasure to watch every day. I tell you that every day, but I should say that in
Nice
public.
that is.
Let's take that. One of the two of John and Marlena's biggest moments, from my memory, was the reunion on the pier. We've got a clip of that. We're going to take a look at that right now. What are you giggling about?
Don't know. You can't know. Do you want to try it?
Somebody please explain to us your giggles.
Okay, yeah, that's a great moment. Now, here's the truth behind it. As you saw, they had a shot where I'm over her shoulder. I'm like this, and I'm looking there, and all of a sudden I do this with my hands, like, oh my God, what she's whispering in my ear is, "You're pulling my hair out." And I'm like, I stop, and I'm like, and it reads as though, my God, it's really her hair. And I'm thinking, what does she mean I'm pulling her hair out? But her hair was shorter at that time when she came back, and so she put some extensions in to match.
No. It's girl part. I was wearing the halo, which is on a string, which makes your hair longer. And as he's pulling it out of my hair. And I'm doing this. And I'm saying, my hair, you're pulling on my hair. And
it looks like
one of those dolls,
dolls
that has hair and you pull it, it gets longer. You know?
It did.
Well, we got to take a quick break, but don't go away. We have more when we come back, so don't go away.
Coming up next, Days of Our Lives, Christian Alfonso reveals how Peter Reckell came to her rescue in real life. Still to come, Suzanne Rogers tells why she can't keep her hands off Melissa Reeves. Plus, we're bringing back two of Day's hottest hunks, Charles Shaughnessy and Stephen Nichols. And the First Lady of Salem, Frances Reed, stops by.
You and I are gonna run away from here. You ready for that?
You know I am. Well, I'll go anywhere with you as long as it's with you.
Oh, okay. It's just gonna be you and me. No more pretending. Everybody in the world is gonna know it's Bo and Hope. No more Maxwell, Hathaway, no more Welch. Nobody's gonna get in our way.
That's right, nobody.
Drake Hogestyn, celebrating 40 years of Days of Our Lives. And of course, when you think of Days, you can't help but think of the super couples.
For over 20 years, Bo and Hope have been one of the most popular couples in daytime history. Please welcome Christian Alfonso and Peter Eckel. Hi, sweetie. Oh, you look gorgeous.
Pleasure.
Come here. Welcome. Hi, guys.
Everybody said hi.
How are you? Oh, great. How fun is this? 40 years.
This is amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. I never thought that I would be a part of something so magnificent.
Peter, what has Days meant to you?
Bill Hayes said something about Frances Reed when she had her birthday, that so many American mothers just fashioned themselves after her. And to be part of something that is part of American culture, it's just an honor.
Yeah. Especially Bo and Hope, one of the most popular couples ever, super couples ever in daytime.
Oh my gosh.
When did you guys realize, when did you go, oh yeah, we're popular?
Yeah.
I think for me it was...
When we got off the plane in
New Orleans. Exactly. We were on the plane with Frances and a bunch of other actors, and I was like, oh my God, Peter, listen.
We heard this band.
They're playing our theme song. How ironic is that?
A high school band was out at the airport.
And we got, we got off the jetway, and they had a 10-piece band, and there were thousands of people at the airport.
We're looking around for like the Rolling Stones or something to get off.
Somebody, yeah.
Who's here?
On the plane.
My feet never touched the ground. I just remember Peter picking me up. I don't know how we got to the car, and he just threw me in, and we were just like, oh my God.
We got into the car, we're both
It was
shaking.
absolutely amazing. I think that's when I first realized that
well, we're in the studio all the time, and we heard all this stuff in magazines. And this was the first time we went out, and it was just, whoa. And you're that close to people, and you just feel their energy. It was astounding.
Speaking of all the locations in the remote, you guys done a lot of stunts over the years, too. Do you have the most dangerous stunt that you've done?
Scuba diving.
We've done a lot of scuba diving.
Hot air balloons.
You're scuba diving in an hour. Jump in the pool, learn, because you're going to be in the ocean in 2 hours.
White Water River, the Kern River one.
Oh, the Kern River one.
White water rafting.
My
that
gosh.
had to be.
The Kern River one, I almost drowned.
You did?
I almost drowned because what happened was they were going to send me down without a boat. I was like, okay, no problem.
Sure.
But what happened was...
you just said, okay, no problem?
The stunt coordinator had brought me into the middle of the river, and he says, okay, just remember to keep your knees up. So but he slipped, and he hadn't turned me around yet, so I was going down backward, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs, help me, help me. I'd be pulled down and pop up, and Al Raver was the executive producer at the time, and he was like, oh my God, she's doing so great, and then somebody raised their hand, oh no, she's drowning, she's drowning.
Funny.
That was an eventful remote.
That was.
Yes, it was.
We
will talk about that.
One of the most memorable Bo Hope scenes is obviously when Bo stopped Hope's marriage to Larry Welch. We have a clip of that. We're going to take a look at that right now.
You're not gonna marry Welch. I'm not gonna let that happen.
Stop me.
Hope,
Because I'm not going to let you mess things up, Bo.
Hope, will you just
Never.
listen to me a minute?
Trust me. You didn't want me.
I wanted you every minute.
I
never
want to hear
stopped.
lies! I don't want to hear lies!
I'm not lying to you, Hope. Everything else was a lie. But what I feel, it wasn't a lie. Listen to me. Everything that I did to protect you.
I don't believe you.
Believe me, Hope. It is the truth.
Do you all think that when you see those old clips? Are you just going, oh my God? Are you
Was
saying?
there ever a more beautiful bride than that?
Oh my God.
I'm telling you. Second time.
All right, listen, we gotta take a break.
And then we're gonna bring out some more cast members, so don't go away. I'll be right back.
Coming up next, Days of Our Lives, Suzanne Rogers reveals how she surprised Melissa Reeves with some fancy footwork. And later, Charles Shaughnessy and Stephen Nichols reunite with their old castmates.
Dancing shoes.
You were born to dance, Maggie. Do you like them? Of course, if you want a different color.
Marty, they're beautiful.
I can hardly wait to take my wife dancing.
Welcome back to our celebration of Days of Our Lives 40th anniversary. And where would Days of Our Lives be without the Horton family? Please welcome Maggie and Jennifer Horton, Suzanne Rogers, and Melissa Reeves. Let's go down the line. It's like a wedding reception line now. What a great storyline that was, the Red Shoe story.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It was.
And then you spent how many years on crutches? 3?
3 years.
3 years. That's
Your first
amazing.
3 years when
Yeah.
you first got there, you were on crutches.
Exactly, yes. It was a good thing I was a dancer and I had some coordination because
Yeah.
I don't know how I did it.
Missy, 20
years.
years. Who can believe
That's
it?
amazing to me. How can that be?
Well, the fans have always loved you. They've always trusted you. They've even trusted you holding their babies at times.
No, I was telling you, I had this.
Were you guys there for this one?
No, but you know when you're in a public appearance and you know someone wants you to
Sure,
hold their
yes,
baby, and
yes.
of course we're always like, yeah, give me some baby.
Yeah.
So I took the baby and I walked up 3 steps and I tripped with this woman's baby in my hands and went flying forward. And I just thought, it was such a panic. And I held that baby like it was my own. I thought, I am not going to let this poor baby get hurt. But the poor mom, she thought, I'll never let some dumb actress hold my baby. It was awful.
That's classic.
Now, how about a favorite storyline throughout the years?
Well, I just know, I love working with Suzanne. This is our thing. Every time Suzanne's in, I know when I go sit on stage, do it. She does this to me every time we work together. She rubs my back and she plays with my hair. And then I can't remember a line I'm supposed to say.
Zoned out.
And they're counting down for us to begin, and I'm like this. I know.
I just love this person. I mean, I do. I do. She's so good to us. I do.
Very sweet. Well, of course, everybody remembers Maggie and Mickey. What's your favorite memory of working with John Clark?
Well, my favorite memory was obviously the storyline that you showed the clip of, the Red Shoes. It was wonderful. I mean, gee, the rich dialogue that I had to play, and he gave me so much, and it was wonderful.
Was there one moment that you went, oh yeah, we're just like a married couple?
Oh, yeah, well, yes. He would correct me if I would do something wrong. I mean, or, and if I was nervous, but if I was nervous, listen, I need to be taught.
I'm sitting here, and you've all been super couples. You've all been a part of a super couple. I mean, that's one thing that Days does.
Days has done so well.
Yeah.
What's your memories of the wedding, the Jack and Jennifer wedding?
This is when the show was going on, all these fabulous locations. So we went, oh, Jack and Jennifer are going to get married. And I remember Matt saying, can you just imagine where we're going to be going? We were like, we were dreaming of the most exotic places, and we were going, oh, it's going to be so good. And I remember Al Rabin, our executive producer at the time, he goes, we're going to Universal Studios.
Everybody cracking up down the end of the line. It's so funny.
England or Caribbean.
Somewhere good.
Yeah, and we had to perform some stunts at our wedding. So.
Yeah, because every time there's all you guys get together, there's always blood somewhere. Something always happens.
I always say whenever we put on a beautiful gown, you know there's catastrophe around the corner.
Yeah, that's bad news.
Bad news. That's
well, we have a clip of the wedding actually right now. We're going to show it.
This is good. Yeah, this is... Jack, this marriage is going to be an adventure. I can feel it.
Well, I don't mind it being an adventure as long as all those things that only happen to me stop happening to me. I mean, I just got this feeling, you know? As long as nothing else goes wrong.
Come on, Jack. What could possibly go wrong now? What is that?
The look on Matt Asher's face is priceless.
The main story behind that is that we were sitting on this box.
I remember watching that.
But Matt, his foot pushed the button to make the house fall, but he pushed it and he took his foot off and the house stopped halfway before it came all the way down.
Just hung there.
Yeah. So we had to do it over and he said, Matt, you have to hold your foot down all the way till the house falls completely over you. So it was halfway just shaking and we're going, it's broken. It's the ride.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We got some more cast members coming out. Stephen Nichols, Charles Shaughnessy.
Coming up next, Charles Shaughnessy and Stephen Nichols reveal why Patch and Shane weren't supposed to be heroes. And later, the celebration continues with original cast member Frances Reed and executive producer Ken Corday.
It's me, Kimberly.
Oh, no. Oh,
please don't turn away from me. Not me. Not now. Dear God, not now.
Welcome back to our celebration Days of Our Lives 40th anniversary. We're here with some of the show's biggest stars.
Our next two guests played two of the most popular heroes in daytime, and today we're reuniting them with their former castmates. Please welcome Stephen Nichols and Charles Shaughnessy. We just got finished talking about how nobody builds super couples like Days. And here's a perfect example.
You both came on as bad guys.
Yeah.
You were my butler.
I was the butler. Even before the butler,
I was meant to be McShane Mystery Man. I remember the audition was McShane Mystery Man.
That's great.
And I was terrorizing Hope in a basement. And I get the script, I get the job, I get the script, and I'm looking for McShane Mystery Man. And, I get a call saying he's not actually McShane Mystery Man, he's Shane, and he's a butler. So I had practiced this kind of real tough bloke, you know, all like, watch out, Hope Brady, you're going to die. I'm saying, would you like tea served on the patio, madam?
And of course, Patch and Kayla, what another huge super couple.
Again. Shane and Kimberly.
What was your first impressions of Mary Beth?
Well, Mary Beth is, well, first of all, she is the absolute most cheerful person I've ever known in my life. And she lights up a room. We did the audition. It was a screen test, and we'd seen like 4 or 5 people, and at the very end, she was the last one, and she did her thing, and she started to walk away, and she said, well, that was... I'm not allowed to say
Dookie.
the S
You
word.
can say Dookie.
Doogie. That was poo-poo.
There you go.
And I thought, my God, I mean, I love that because she was so guileless and so honest about. I mean, most actors, if it was, they would never say it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and I fell in love with her immediately.
Well, we have a classic clip of Patch and Kayla we're going to show right now.
I'm not very good with words. All I know is I love you. And we were meant to be together. Forever. What do they say? Till death do us part. You know what? I don't think even that's gonna keep us apart.
I'm gonna let Peter say what he just said. You guys missed this one. Peter leans over and he says...
Is that the same coat? all males in daytime have a black leather jacket.
And all 3 of you definitely have a black leather jacket. I've seen them all.
Where's your jacket, dude? Where's your motorcycle?
Let's talk about memorable love scenes.
There we go.
While we're at it. Memorable love scenes.
Let's start with you, Steven.
Love scenes. Well, Mary Beth and I did our first love scene on a rooftop. And remember that? And they wanted us to... It was supposed to be very hot. It was a hot night. We had glasses of ice water. And at one point, Shelley Curtis said, pour the ice water all over your body. And I was pouring water on myself. And then Mary Beth was pregnant at the time. And they had a body double. And they would shoot with Mary Beth and I for a while. And then, uh-oh, bring in the body double. And Mary Beth just, again, was hysterically laughing the whole time. Because she's out to here. She's literally like 8 months pregnant.
Didn't you have a hot tub scene when you were pregnant?
You know, I'm gonna let Peter tell that story because he tells it so well.
Okay, Peter, please tell us.
Well, you're very buoyant, I guess, when you're
I
and we go down in the hot tub, and she'd pop up like a pop.
And he was pinned up against the wall.
I'm wrapping my...
I'm going to tie a couple rocks
feet around her.
And my shorts kept blowing up.
So I'm like on top of her trying to... Very romantic doing this.
Now, Deidre and Drake, a memorable love scene?
Are you gonna... We weren't asked that before. I'm gonna...
Go ahead.
I'm gonna talk about the airplane.
Oh, the airplane. Oh, yeah.
We had to, as John was leaving town. Were you Roman then? I forget. He was leaving town, and I sort of knew I was in love with him, and I didn't want him to go, and I came to try to persuade him not to go, and then we end up making love on the plane. But what happened was, Tom Langen, our executive producer, came down and said, "You're not into it. You're not giving it your all. You're playing safe out there. Do it again." And he said it about 3 times until I was undone. And by the time the scene you saw on the air was done, I couldn't stop crying. It was a scene of absolute abandon.
She was shaking so hard, when she got into a really good shake, they said, "Quick, John, get on."
Coming up next, the party continues with Francis Reed and executive producer Ken Corday. Later, a tribute to McDonald Carey.
That chill in the air. This hot coffee's gonna taste good.
Thanks, Mrs. Horton.
How long are you going to call me Mrs. Horton?
Well, what would you like me to call you? I can't call you Mother because I've already had one real mother.
And Mrs. Horton is entirely too formal for a future son-in-law.
Well, what do your other children call you, Mrs. Horton?
Well, they've called me Mom and Mama and Mummy, and they've even called me Hey.
Ben called you Alice.
Well, that's right, Tony. Why not call me Alice?
We are back celebrating Days of Our Lives 40th anniversary. Our 40th I mean, really, this 40th anniversary show would not be complete without our next two guests. They have been with the show from the very beginning. Please welcome original cast member Frances Reid and executive producer Ken Corday.
Frances, how's it feel?
I don't know. It passed without you know, it just went on.
Just goes,
Just
right?
goes.
It just happens.
Like sands through the hourglass, would you say?
There
you go.
Right. Absolutely.
Ken, your parents created the show 40 years ago. Do you think they ever imagined that it would still be going so strong?
Oh, heavens no. They actually said to Mac, the first year, my father asked him to be on the show, and Mac said, well, MacDonald Carey, how long do you think this is going to last, Ted? And my father said, well, it might go a year or two.
Oh, really?
Wow. Well, you knew, they said the same thing to Frances. Frances said, a year or two.
They didn't even say that.
They didn't.
No, they didn't think it was good. They said, oh, a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks.
That is so funny. In 1967, Bill Bell, you guys gave him, well, Days of Our Lives gave him his first head writing job. Do you remember, what's your favorite memory of those days, or do you remember, because you were young then?
Bill was marvelous. He was a genius in his profession, and we miss him now. He's been gone 6 months, and there won't be another Bill Bell. And Bill really is the one that put Days of Our Lives on the map. He created characters that are still going today, and had that sense of family that still drives the show today. And we miss him.
Yeah, well said. Puts our hearts throughout the lake as well. Wonderful woman.
Now, Frances, you did a lot of comedy on the show.
Did I?
In the beginning, yes.
Frances, I think you're still doing a lot of comedy on the show, I gotta tell you. Now, do you remember doing a little driving down in New Orleans?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
There she is. She's driving.
Oh, you're
I didn't get paid, I don't think.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. You got paid for driving the trolley and being on the show as an actor.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, that was good business, wasn't it? That was good. All right.
You know, what I remember about working with you, Frances, is your honesty.
Yes.
You're just so brutally honest, and you could always rely on Frances to come to you and say, you know, darling, your hair doesn't look so good like that. That should be right. You would be right.
I would walk on set and she'd say, dear, you're not thinking of wearing your hair like that. And that outfit. But Frances, it's part of the story. Oh, dear. I have to say, you know how much I love you.
Yes, because I love you.
And you've always been so incredibly kind to me. But you've taught me so much. So much over the years.
Well, we got to take another quick break, but we will be back right after this, so don't go away. We have more with Cast of Days of Our Lives.
Coming up next, the cast of Days of Our Lives pays special tribute to MacDonald Carey. If you're in the
Darling, you've loved me for 50 years, looked out for me.
watched over her. I think it's only fitting that I finally make an honest woman of her. Sweetheart, I don't know how I could ever have lived without you. And I don't ever want to know. I love you with my whole heart, my whole soul.
Welcome back to our Days of Our Lives 40th Anniversary Extravaganza. We're here with the best of the cast and crew, but there is one person that's missing, of course. Obviously not forgotten.
And that's McDonald Carey.
Who played Dr. Tom Horton for 30 years. Suzanne, we see you lost in thought. What are some of your most memorable moments with McDonald?
Well, he knew that I had been a dancer, and he said to me, "You've been a dancer, eh?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Do you know this one?" And he proceeded to do a time step. And I said, "Yeah, you mean this one?" And he said, "You're a dancer. You're okay." I mean, he was a lovely man. He was very giving, and all the way up to the very end. He came into work when I know he didn't feel well, but he was like a father to us all. We could go to him and talk about things, and he was just like this one right here. Just like she was, you know, we were a family, and that's how it was. And so that's how she is to me, too.
Now, Deidre, you have a story, I think you do, about when you were leaving the set one night.
Oh, gosh.
I love this.
There's been a long time feeling that Mac has never actually left us. And we had wrapped for the year at one point. We'd done our episodes. The tree was still up in some of the sets. And Mac's picture was on the mantle in your living room. And we're walking out at the end of the day. And lights were off. And we turned back, and there was this beam of light on Mac's picture. And there was no source. It was just this light that his picture was lit up, but it was from nowhere. And we both went, oh, that's right. This is where he stayed.
We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, let's take one more look at a great man.
I can't wait to read you some of my standards. As soon as I get this stuff off, I'll recite some for you on the way home.
No, I'm just delighted to have you take me home. Don't take off that card. I have this urge to be with Norm de Plume tonight.
Hold on to that thought till I get you home, Mrs. Norm de Plume.
Show. And of course, no party would be complete without a few tasty treats, right? So, Deidre, you brought some a little present for all of us in the audience.
I am the spokesperson for Bodega Chocolates. The finest.
Nice.
I have my own Deidre Hall collection. Log on to Marlena.com if you want more, but it goes great with your champagne.
Yes, it does. And of course, Charles, we want to talk to you because I think you're doing such a great thing. So I want to talk briefly about your hurricane relief auction.
Yeah, thank you, Tanya. We're collecting memorabilia from all the soaps and nighttime shows, movies, country music, to put up on an auction. And then all the proceeds are going to go out to various different charities like Habitat for Humanity, the Humane Society, to go down to all the people that are hit by Katrina, then Rita, then what else is coming. To help them rebuild their lives. There's so much work to be done. So,
so great, thank you.
Come to my website or the Soap Talk website. You can get information on either of them.
Great, well, we want to thank you all for joining us today.
Yes,
40 years, and here's to 40 more. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheers. Cheers.